Number 5 wants to know what is the y-intercept of the graph of the line that passes through the points 15, -2, and the point -9, 14. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label my point x1, y1, and then I'll label my other point x2, y2. So this one's going to take a little bit. We've got a little bit of work to do, but stick with me. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to roughly graph these 2 points. So for my second point, since I'm in blue, -9, I'm going to go backwards to the left 9 and then up 14. So I'm somewhere in here. For my other point, I'm going to go over a +15 and down 2. So I'm in here somewhere. I'm just getting an idea of what this looks like. I'm not being too precise. So my line looks about like that. All right, so now this is asking about the y-intercept, and that means where does the line cross the y-axis? Well, it crosses it right there, right? And what do you know about the x values along the y-axis? What is the x value everywhere along our y-axis? X means how far do we go, left or right? We don't go at all, right? So this is asking, what is the value of y when x equals 0? So the reason this one's going to take a little bit of time is we have to do 2 pieces here. We need the equation of the line, so we need y equals mx plus b. But to get that, we have to go back to problem number 10. We have to find out what the slope is. So we're going to do that by looking at y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, okay? So I'm going to write that in below. So when I fill in the problems, the y2, y1, x2, x1, I get 14 minus a -2 over -9 minus 15. If you check those on your calculator, 14 minus -2 gives me 16 in the top. In the bottom, -9 minus 15 is -24. So if you do this in your calculator, you should get 0.66 repeating, so 667, which is the same as, still negative, -2/3. So this is your slope. All right, so in number 10, we were done here. But in this case, we have to keep going. We have to use this equation. So we know our slope, but now we need to find our b value. Okay, so I'm setting this up with the slope. If you put it in your calculator, you'll have -0.667. So that's what I have in this equation. And if you're wanting me to just get over this and get to the answer you have, 8, is correct. So hopefully you know how you got that. What you can do from here is, if you're gonna keep listening, it's fine if you're done. You're gonna plug in your y value, either one. So I'm gonna choose the first one. So I'm choosing this point here. -2 equals -0.667 times 15 plus b. So the tricky thing here is when you do this part in your calculator, you're going to get a decimal. And that's why sometimes it's better to leave the fraction, or you could just assume you could round all of this up when you get there. So what you would want to get here is -2 equals -10 plus b. So then you would add 10 to both sides. If you plug -2 plus 10 into your calculator, you would get that 8 equals b, and that is what you got. You could also check it. I know you're probably not going to do this, but that's okay. You could also check it with the other number. You should get the same answer, right? So if I do that, this bottom piece down here, 14 equals negative 2/3 or negative 0.667 times negative 9. Negative times a negative is a positive, and this multiplication gives us 6. That's a 6, not a b. These are 6's too. Subtract 6 from both sides, we get that 8 equals b. So we checked it for both points. That is good. That's what we want. All right, so your y-intercept is b. Your y-intercept is 8.